A newer sportsbook that popped onto the scene last year was ProphetX. And in this video, we are going to dive into exactly what ProphetX is, how you utilize it, and why I'm so bullish on this particular sportsbook in 2025 and beyond. I think exchanges compared to your recreational sportsbooks like DraftKings and BetMGM are going to be a game changer for you, especially if you love to arbitrage bet. And so over here on DraftKings, when we're looking at this Suns-Hawks game, maybe I want to wager on Trae Young over 24.5 points. I don't know, maybe I want to go ahead and wager $300 on this play. Well, what you're going to see is that DraftKings is not going to allow me to place this type of wager. They're going to say, hey man, you've made too much money off of us. We're going to limit you to $19.19 on this bet. But over here at ProphetX, when we're looking at the over under 24.5 points for Trae Young, you can see that for the under, there's $333 available that we can bet on, or the over, there's $318. So this is the liquidity that's available, and we're never going to run into limits with this sportsbook. And so that's one of the first massive perks of betting with an exchange, is that you're never going to run into limits like I did on DraftKings. Now, as you can see right here, out of 39 of 50 states are currently ProphetX is available on. So if you see that your state's in green, well then go download it right now because you can utilize this book. So compared to, let's say, a Fanatics or a BetMGM, the difference is that you're placing a bet against the house. And if the house thinks that you're a sharp sports bettor or that you make profitable plays, they're going to limit or cut down the size that you're able to place on a specific wager. But with exchanges, you're not placing a bet against the house, it's peer-to-peer. And so the way that these exchanges make money is that they take a little cut or portion off of the top of whichever side bettor makes or wins the bet. Now, ProphetX doesn't care if you make $1 million on your account betting on their sportsbook, because they make their money based off of who wins the bet between the two bettors. They take a small portion and then they move on. So they welcome arbitrage bettors with open arms. They want you to bet on their book. And that's one of the big differences, because they don't work like traditional recreational sports books like Bet365. With an exchange, you're never going to run into limits, and you're going to be able to wager thousands of dollars no matter what the market is. It just depends if the liquidity is available. And what you'll typically find out with exchanges is that there's a lot of activity day of the game or hours before the game starts, meaning there's a lot of money available that you can wager on. So the only downside sometimes is that if you're looking to maybe place a bet on this upcoming weekend's NFL playoff games, maybe between the Lions and the Commanders or the Chiefs and the Texans, there might not be much money available for you to wager on because those games don't take place for another 6 days. And so again, over here at ProphetX is what you're going to notice when we're looking at, let's say, the spread or the total points between the Sixers and the Thunder. Well, if you wanted to take the Sixers at plus 12, you can see there's $1,000 currently that you could wager on. Or on the flip side for the Thunder, there's $431. When we're looking at the over-under, there's over $1,200 in both sides of the market. Now, depending on where you're looking to wager on, so maybe you're saying, you know what, Billy, I want to take the Sixers at plus 12, but I'm willing to take it at a worse price at plus 102. Well, there's $1,900 currently available that you can go after this play at plus 102 odds. Now, when you come over to player props for assist, maybe for Isaiah Joe over under 1.5, you can see that there isn't any liquidity available. There's this request button. This is where you can create or make your own market. Maybe you love Joe over 1.5 assists. Well, what you can do here is say, oh, I don't know, maybe you want to place a wager for $500, and then you can just literally create your own odds, whatever you want these odds to be. Maybe you want this at plus 150. You can go ahead and do so, place this wager, and now this market is open for someone on the other side to bet the under 1.5. Now, just because you go ahead and create that wager for maybe Isaiah Joe over under 1.5 assists, there's no guarantee that someone's going to take the other side. And if they do bet the other side, that under 1.5, they might not fulfill the order to the max. Maybe they only bet $10 or $50. But the beauty here is that you can literally create your own play, stake your own amount, and create your own odds. So if you know that the market has Isaiah Joe sitting at maybe minus 115 odds, maybe you want to go ahead and create a bet for a better price at plus 105 or plus 110. It's not egregious, but you can literally create your own market, and you might be able to find action on that play. So you can create your own positive EV bets and put some little morsels out there to see if anyone will scoop it up. Now, as I mentioned before, if you're an arbitrage bettor, you're going to love ProphetX. So right here, we have an opportunity with Taurean Prince over under on his blocks between Bet365 and ProphetX. Now, this isn't the biggest ARB in the world. It's just 1.35%. But again, pumping in this calculator here with a $270 total investment, we're going to make either $3 and change if this bet wins on Bet365 or $5 over at ProphetX. So as we come over here to ProphetX to look at Taurean Prince to not record a block in tonight's game, you can see there's $1,700 available to wager in this market. So I'm going to go ahead and place a wager for $220 for him to not record a block. And you can see over here on Bet365, I placed a $50 wager on Prince to get a block. Now again, guys, anytime that the plus odds are larger than the minus odds, you're going to be able to make risk-free cash. Now, if you noticed on ProphetX, it was showing minus 400 odds. But as I mentioned, if the bet wins on ProphetX, we're going to have to pay a small fee to ProphetX. That's how they make money as a betting exchange. Well, OddsJam software automatically already converts this at to minus 412 odds. They already factor in that if we win this bet on ProphetX, we're not going to be getting paid out at minus 400 odds. It's going to be at minus 412. And so in that example, I had a total investment of $270. And no matter what happens, I'm going to receive my $270 back plus $5 on top. And so that's where ProphetX comes in handy, because as you saw with that Prince example, we could wager over $1,700 on a player prop bet. And I can't say that's the case with a lot of other recreational sports books for player props in terms of liquidity available. Now, one thing that I want to make sure that you're aware of is if, let's say, that you place a bet out there days in advance for Lions on the money line to beat the Commanders, and you go ahead and create a wager for a certain price, and then you find out a day later that Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs are not going to be playing in the game, well, you want to make sure that you go back to the exchange to cancel that order, because naturally the price is going to go in the opposite direction for you, and you don't want to leave that bet out there. If you found value in the content thus far, make sure to smash that subscribe button, click that thumbs up button, and also click that bell notification so you don't miss the next video that we drop. I started sports betting over 3 years ago, and I entered this arena via arbitrage betting, and I wish that these exchanges were around back then, but they're here now, and I want to make sure that you take full advantage of the fact that there aren't any limits. ProphetX doesn't care how much money that you make off them, they just want your action. So this is a super valuable sports book that you want to make sure that you're utilizing every day. And the fact with arbitrage betting that you already know at ProphetX how much liquidity is available, that's going to really help set up your calculations for how much money that you want to put down then on the other sports book when you're arbitrage betting. Your puzzle is already figured out. All you have to determine is how much do you want to make. Now, another way that I love to attack ProphetX is using the OddsJam positive expected value tool. And guys, whether it's arbitrage or positive EV betting, linked in the description will be a 1-week free trial to OddsJam. Use my code BILLYC to save yourself 35% off your first month after the trial ends. We have a 2.5% edge here on the over 148. I have some very sharp sports books here like Pinnacle, Circa, and Bookmaker, all saying that this game should be priced roughly around minus 107 odds. As you can see right here between my three sharp sports books, Circa's here, Pinnacle's here, Bookmaker's here, but ProphetX is just much higher, or giving us a higher payout compared to the rest of the sharp sports books. So this is a play that we want to attack. Again, looking at the sharp books, the fair price should be even money or plus 100 odds. So anything that's priced above plus 100 is a massive value, and that's where ProphetX comes into play. Now, what you're going to notice here is that the odds on OddsJam, as we mentioned before, is plus 105, but over here on ProphetX, the over 148 is priced at plus 108. And again, if we win the wager, we have to give a small cut back to ProphetX. That's why OddsJam has it priced at plus 105. You could see right above the plus 148, there's $1,450 available for us to wager into this market. Now, the OddsJam recommended bet size was $210. I could not agree more, so I'm going to go ahead and place a wager right now. And if you're positive EV betting or arbitrage betting, you want to make sure that you're utilizing a bet tracker to track all of your profits. And OddsJam's bet tracker is what I've been using for over 3 years. It's absolutely free. Make sure that you take advantage of it. And so now that you have an idea of how I love to play single straight wagers and arbitrage bets, you can see why Profit Exchange is going to be a book that I am going to be utilizing a lot moving forward in 2025. If you have any questions at all regarding Profit Exchange, do not hesitate to reach out and contact me. It'll be linked below in the description. We are smack dab in the middle of the best time of the sports betting calendar right now. And if your betting strategy is failing you, then you need to check out the 1 unit betting strategy. Click this video right here. That's going to walk you through exactly how I utilize this strategy. It's been a consistent profit maker for me month after month. And we're going to go through the entire setup in this video so that you have a consistent profitable betting strategy that you can go ahead and utilize to attack these sports books.